Right, welcome back to episode 12 of my XKR X100 race car. So, a couple of things for this episode. I've watched back a couple of them and I can't stop saying ah. So I'm going to try my hardest to not say ah. And I realise I've done it a few times already, which is really frustrating. So I'm going to try my hardest. So first we're going to get started by the front of the engine. We've got the supercharger belt and of course our auxiliary belt. I've got rid of my water pump, which is at the top. So I need to make bottom pulley, alternator. I just need those two on my auxiliary belt, and my supercharger belt is very similar setup to how it should be, only slightly longer. So the belt's at the front of the engine, my auxiliary belt and my supercharger belt. Only two belts. Originally the car would have had a number of tensioners, and so front of the engine we'd have had two belts. Normally the vehicle in its standard form would have had a number of tensioners and idlers on both belts. They like most serpentine belts these days on most cars, they go all ways. So we simplified that last year. We just had the water pump, the bottom pulley and the alternator on our auxiliary belt, and we just made that the alternator we could move out and in just on a slotted where's that? We just made this last time so we could just tension it old school. So this year we've lost the water pump there. We're having two electronic water pumps, so the belt routing is now getting involved with everything else. So the auxiliary belt now gets involved with the tensioner for the supercharger. It's a long story short. So because we've lost this, the top, it goes now straight across, so just two pulleys basically, the bottom pulley and the alternator. So I've got to modify the bracketry and the tensioner and indeed the idlers on the auxiliary belt, and the supercharger belt I've just got to mess about a bit, and different HD belt, slightly long because the supercharger is obviously straight away. So the first thing I'm going to do is this is the tensioner mount for the supercharger belt, and this is going to be in the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off. Quite simple, quite straightforward. File it down, just nice and flat, and then I'm going to countersink that so that the belt can come past here with no problem at all. So that's episode one. That's the first job I've got to do. The second job, slightly more bloody awkward, is this is the original tension. This mounts my alternator when it lives here. Now, as I say, originally the belt used to come along, but now I'm missing this top pulley, so this is another tensioner here, an idler pulley, sorry. So my belt wants to come right through here, really irritating me on the bottom of it. So what I'm going to try and do is unbolt this tensioner, unbolt this idler. I'm going to cut this piece off. I'm going to file that out because that's now not required, and I'm then going to try and I don't think there's enough meat in the back there, so we might have to put a bit of weld in there, file that back nice and flat, and then put like a small idler there just so that it keeps the belt out of the way of this. So hopefully it'll work.
What? I said you can tell us, Jaguar.
Why?
Snot.
No. Aluminium of champions there, mate. Lovely job. Really happy with this. This I think is going to work as long as this little bearing holds up to the abuse. I've got a new alternator this year, so that's fitted. I had a new one last year of a different brand and it screwed itself over. Managed to catch up with Jess, a friend of mine from years ago, went to college together. Just so happens he's got like a water vapor blasting machine, so he's blasted this, so that's now nice. He blasted this piece for me, the bit that I modified under there. I've got to put the I've got to put a countersunk screw in there, but everything just misses, everything's just right. I put a new bearing in here because these Jaguar have changed these to plastic ones now, and mine was getting a bit looser. Put a brand new bearing in there, press that in. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, so I can now move forwards. So I managed to purchase myself some wheels. I wanted to change wheels on the car since the moment I had it, really. I wanted some race car wheels. So now we're on this bit of a weight saving journey. These should help. So we're going to get rid of the OEM Jaguar wheels and get these Team Dynamics on there. Now, one of the issues with the Jags is they are near as damn it same PCD as a BMW like an E46 or something. They're like 5x120. It's actually Imperious 120.65 in metric or something, but everyone seems to run the BMW wheels. So we're going to run the BMW wheels. The problem is the actual bore size on the BMW wheels too small. So we need to enlarge that somehow. Now, I managed to get these second-hand off Facebook Marketplace, and I didn't get stitched up, so I'm well pleased. They actually existed. Quick word to say thanks to Paul. He lives up in Essex, and he managed to pick these up for me and drop them off, so I am really pleased. Thanks ever so much, mate. You're an absolute legend. Now, I want to bore these out concentrically, of course. So I've heard lots of things about people getting them machined out on a milling machine and all the rest of it. Now, obviously, when we're talking about like I paid £500 for these, but when you're talking about £500 set of wheels, if I'm going to pay someone 50, 60 quid a wheel to like DTI them up and machine them out, all of a sudden that becomes quite expensive. Now, I had some wheel spaces. I got some wheel spaces that we had. Like these are concentric wheel spaces that I ran last year on the back. Interestingly, you're only allowed to run 20 mil, so they're 20 mil, and they just set the back out just enough. But the wheels that I bought have actually got the ET correct, so they're actually another further 5 mil further out. So I'm really happy. But I kind of got thinking, well, if I machined this out, got this sort of step. If I machine that out and get the bore the exact same size all the way through, I could potentially bolt this to the back of the wheel, and then that would be perfectly concentric. And if I got like a router there, like with a bearing on the top, good old screw fit. I think screw fits have built out this car. So if I then get myself a nice router bit with the top bearing, I should be able to. This is the one I actually have machined out. I used Uncle Jams at JEK, his lathe. He's a good boy, so I've literally just turned that edge off. So I kind of think I bolt that to the back, and then I can literally machine the inside of the wheel out, and it will remain perfectly concentric. One thing I'm going to do is put tape around the outside of here first, so that I can, rough it out first, so it'll be just very slightly bigger, and then I can pull the tape off and do like a finishing cut. Now, I've got no idea if this is going to work. It's either going to be a massive or it's going to be glorious. So either way, I know it's going to make a hideous amount of noise, because I have got like a fairly budget rotor. So let's get going and do this. Let's watch me fuck up a set of £500 second-hand wheels I just bought. Right, so I've had a good measure up. It seems to measure perfectly concentric, so I'm really happy. It's tight as hell, so now I'm going to actually try and machine it. So I've got obviously the face of it on some cardboard. The tyres I don't care about anyway. When I bought them, the guy said, I've got some 888s to throw on there if you want. Yeah, go on then, gold. Happy days. And they turned up and they're dated from like 1955 or something, so there we go. So, yeah, I'm going to be laughing or crying at the end of this. I don't know what, but yeah, come along for the journey. Let's see. Let's get the glasses on. That was quite possibly the most unexciting thing I've ever done. But we've got some nice holes now. Lovely. So done them all. So the last thing I've got to do is stickers. We all know that stickers make things faster. So there we go. One set of wheels dealt with. It's very late. I'm very tired. Wheels are done. Let's do something different. All right, Jam. We're down
Down at Uncle Jam Jam's, JEK, and he's welding up my manifolds now. Uncle Spike's hacked them all together. Jam Jam's putting a nice bead on there. Don't fuck it up, mind.
Alright.
I bashed these through the parts washer. I wanted to sort of drill and put the breather in the end there. I was going to put it where the VVC solenoid goes, but I was a bit worried about it getting like splashed from the gears. So I've sort of decided to go there. I've drilled in there, bonded it in, I've lock wired it because I'm worried to death that's going to end up going around the cam chain. I've had to blank off with just an orb blank from the old breathers. So yeah, I'm glad I sort of took the time to polish there to put them through the cleaner. They come up really nice, so we can get them banged on there now. Okay, so inlet manifolds are now on finally. Got my sensors. These are pressure and temperature combined sensors. Drilled and tapped these into the tops of the cylinder heads. New throttle body's obviously on. I was talking earlier on about my Volkswagen map and inlet temperature sensors, so those are on. I've just had to make a loom for the knock sensors. We're going to hopefully do the car and DR25 and go a decent spec of wiring this time round. The braid's very nice, clubman spec, but at the end of the day it's what we do, so it should be a bit nicer. So yeah, we're going to sling this in now and get my supercharger on. I've been doing a few bits to the charger too. Right, so we need some decent fan cowlings for these rads. Obviously normally it'd be meant to be run with the Civic stuff, so Uncle Spike's got back out our 3D scanner and he scanned the radiators, and I bought two fans from some Spell fans from, I think it was T7 Engineering, T7 Cooling. They seem pretty good, to be fair. So he's had them, he's drawn them, and we've water cut. Our man Steph, bless him, thanks ever so much, mate, has water cut these. So we're going to go down and see James at JEK and get these ends folded over now, and then we can bolt our fans in, bolt our cowlings on. Job's a good one. I'll do it. I am doing an unboxing video. I'm really excited. So this is our new fans. Well, hopefully it's our new fans from T7 Design. If there's no Spell fans in here, I'll be disappointed. There we go. So nice new fans into our nice new cowling. Excited. You're actually excited about that, Uncle Spike, aren't you?
I'm not, you are.
I am very excited. I really like that. Really, really happy with that. Oh, beautiful. Cool. Okay, so I've made my fudge up bracket just to ensure that the pumps are going to fit. So I was going to mount these down low, but I'll be honest, like just the way that these two here are just going to line up perfectly into there, and I can just go out from here 45 into the bottom of the rads. It seems most sensible thing to do. So it feels good to actually get to a point where I'm actually bolting things on. So a couple of bits and pieces. So obviously I've got my coolant, temperature and pressure sensors mounted in each bank. I've had to modify the fuel rails very slightly, give them a little polish. My vacuum lines now are all in AN line. That's a good suggestion from Austin there, so thank you again, mate. Like I say, these water hoses I've got to wait for some fittings. Throttle bodies are on, obviously. My new map sensors are on. Everything's bolted up now properly and efficiently. So this is the new supercharger pulley. Now, Uncle Spike designed this for Swallows. This is their standard pulley upgrade for the TVS 1900. Now, these, I really like these. They're machined properly. They're stainless steel, and they've got this like locking collar. So not only is it a fine piece of engineering, I haven't got to sweat the bloody pulley on and off every time, which I just detest. But also, I can just get different pulleys machined and just swap them around, because we really don't know what boost this is going to make yet. So I've got to clean the engine down as well, I'll be honest. I wish I'd done that right from the start, but I wasn't planning on using this engine. But all of our belts are in, everything's working. I've got to sort out the oil. Like I say, all the oil pipes coming out the bottom now, they're in a different position. The water pipes, fuel is all connected, a bit of electric, and we'll be running. But full disclosure, I've got an apology to make.
to Jeremy, because all of my bracketry over the last couple of days, because I've just been sitting and making brackets and pissing around, I ran out of 1.5mm aluminium, so I had to use Jeremy's sump guard from his Subaru that he left here a little while ago. So my apologies, mate, but you've got no sump guard anymore. So I have managed to buy myself a covered trailer. I'm really happy. Loads of reasons for it. Mainly is that car's just got a place to live. Then I can just literally leave it in there, and when it gets wet, it literally like gutted. So yeah, we've got a covered trailer. We're going to make a few changes to it. Thanks to Matthew, by the way. Got it off Matthew for a good price. Really happy. I've replaced the lights and bits and pieces on it already. Going to just go through the brakes, just make sure everything's cool. It all looks good, to be fair, but some of the lights just wanted to go to LED, so I haven't got to think about them again. But we're going to put I'll show you. The idea is to put some sort of framework up here, so that we can put like some tools, some spare wheels, kids' bikes, just in the end there. So that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully that'll be quite straightforward and simple. Nice and simple. I ain't going to spend too much time on this video watching this, because obviously it's just a couple of bits of metal with a shelf. So just welding out some brackets to pick up on the original framework. Really. There we go. That's good enough. So now I've got to go get some wood, which means going to B&Q. So that's exciting. I hope no one sees me and thinks I'm a normal person doing decorating or whatever. Wow, there she is. I've been to B&Q. Wife's in there now cleaning up all the mess I've made. One of the reasons I got this like a little bit cheaper was the corners were a little bit damaged. Quite often people with these box trailers reverse into stuff and it knocks the corner, knocks the fiberglass. So I had like Howard, a friend of ours, like he cut these up. It's from Aller Engineering. He's got this company down there. They do laser cutting and folding and stuff. And so we sort of designed this up and sent it off to him, and he's laser cut these and folded them, and we've literally sort of popped them on, drilled and tapped into the framework, couple of points there, and I've taken the time to try and keep the kids happy, putting some pretty lights all along the back. Like I say, I've upgraded the LED lights. You alright, mate? Oh, good. So my frame, my new shelf. Check that bad boy out, eh? Some nice B&Q ply. You alright, love? You stop that a minute. I'm trying to do a video. Look, there you go. I said shh. So I've got lots of these boxes in here now. I got these off of Facebook Marketplace. They are like sort of £6-7 quid each, but they're real sturdy, second hand, but you know, really happy. These I was going to put like a door on here, like just a fold down door, and I thought, well, actually it's probably just a bit OTT. So some screw fix ratchet straps, they're sort of just bonded into here, like putting out the bolt, big penny washer. So they ain't going nowhere, they just go onto there. And then there's my favourite, you alright? My favourite thing I bought, I've had this couple of years. This is now mounted in here strong, but it keeps, you can just pull all these out, keep various bits and pieces in here. I've had it since we started doing track days, and I'd be genuinely lost without that now. So that can live there nicely. Once those are locked down, it doesn't go nowhere, so that's nice and safe. So I'm really happy with that. We've gained a whole shitload of room, because we can put the jack up there. I'm hoping to keep the fuel. I'm going to make another little cupboard around the side of that to put the fuel in. So just be like a racing car in a box. We can just hitch it up and go racing. What do you think?
Kids' bikes.
Kids' bikes, yeah, there's loads of room up there. We can add some more of those straps in fairness. You know, we can lob loads of stuff. Like, time you get the wheels off the bikes, don't take up no room anyway. But to lob them all up there. Yeah, loads of room. I'm going to connect up to the car now and let the kids look at the lights, see what they think. Yeah, you can carry on now. You may finish cleaning my mess. Rightio, we are progressing. All the water hoses now going, both water systems plumbed. I've pressure tested both of these now and left them both overnight, both sides, and they're all winning. It's all perfect. So we've now got the bother of fitting this. This is my obvious air-to-air intercooler. Supposedly that'll support 1300 horsepower. Don't think we're going to be anywhere near that, but still, it's nice to have a bit of extra, isn't it, Spike?
Dynajet horsepower.
Dynajet horsepower, yeah, true story. So we're just sort of coming up with ideas now of how to mount this, but we're kind of thinking we're going to, these are both, these go up into the chassis legs, so we're going to get rid of both of those, and then we're thinking we might make a frame to go around this, and then sort of like mount it in this, unpick some of the, this is in the wrong place anyway, this was welded in when it was originally crashed here, so this is wrong and in the wrong place anyway, so we're going to unpick this I think, and then bolt a little frame to mount this in and lose that. That's the plan then, boy, is it?
Yeah.
Let's
Cutty, mounty.
Cutty and mounty. Okay, let's do that.
Hold it there.
Yeah, it looks really tidy there. Yeah. There you go. Nice. Oh, spike. Sexy.
Yeah.
You should be a bender model.
Yeah, I could be.
Or a model bender.
You can say that.
Oh, you probably can't.
Fuck me.
You alright? Nice and thin?
Yeah.
We had to have pizza for tea because I needed to make some designs for some brackets. So thank you, wife. So intercooler, that's essentially how it's going to be bracketed on. I'm going to have to trim a very small amount at the back of the bumper, but essentially this is the bracket. I've obviously got to give it a good old clean up, tidy up and paint it, but I've got to try and mount my oil cooler there somewhere as well. So get this mount primary concern. My brakes have arrived also, so we're a bit excited about that, but that's where I'm going to leave this video. So hopefully next time we will have all of my boost pipe work started and finished. The radiators will all be back in, this will be mounted, hopefully that'll be painted, or we'll do this all in the next episode. So hopefully next episode we should be running. It should be exciting times. See you soon.